What's going on, champs? Coach Ron Talk Show. Y'all already know what time it is. I got a special guest over here, Coach Sam in the house.
What's up, boxing world?
Yes, sir, man. So Sam, man, talk to me, man. People want to know. I'm pretty sure. First of all, Coach Sam been with me since the warehouse days.
Yeah, this will be the third year.
Third year with Ron.
Feels longer though, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I think it's that that connection. Just feel like we've been talking. We're doing it for longer than that.
Of course, I know for sure. So that was about 3 years. So before that, how you got into boxing, pretty much?
Man, just as a teenager, man, I was always into boxing. I used to watch Muhammad Ali, those old school fights on ESPN Classic Sports Network. They don't have it no more, but I would watch. I would try to emulate Ali. It's probably pretty bad, but that's how I kind of got into boxing. As far as coaching, that took probably started about a little over 10 years ago with my younger brother. So at first it was just a way to kind of keep him on the the straight and narrow, keep him out of trouble, and we started working, and I was just like, whoa, this dude might be a natural. Had a coworker of mine who had an amateur career. He saw him and was just like, Sam, your brother might be a natural. You gotta try your best to keep him in the sport. So
nice.
Here we are now. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So you started training your brother. That was like pretty much your first fighter.
First fighter, man, from the ground up, and you get a sense of like, man, you accomplish something when you build a fighter, because it's not a easy thing to do, which because you did that with your daughter.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah, because when I met your brother,
right,
he had good fundamentals. He had good fundamentals, and of course, you had told me you was training him, and then but what kind of amazed me most was when you told me he had no amateur fights,
right,
but yet he was sparring top-notch pros.
Yeah.
We're talking about top-notch. I mean, we're talking about Darwin Price Jr. from Maine.
Yeah.
We're talking about
the homie Regis program.
The homie Regis pro,
Austin Emma Williams,
which are world champs.
Yeah,
Regis, world champ. Yep. Darwin top.
Yep. National amateurs who would come by Main Street, and it's just so the plan was. I knew I was still working corporate America at the time, so I knew I wouldn't be able to take him to all these shows and tournaments.
Of course.
Have work obligations,
and it's hard.
It is.
That's another good valid point, man.
Correct.
People don't realize that, man, when you be coaching.
Yeah, and you don't get paid for this, right? So I said, you know what, we'll train crazy, and opportunity came when lost my job. I was just like, you know what, I have time now. So I was just like, by the time he started fighting at 21. We were training since he was 13. So I was just like, with his style, I was like, we have a pro style, so it's not gonna look like somebody who just started off. So when people would be like, man, how many fights does he have? I'm like, 0.
Pause. I'm sorry. Give me a second.
That one?
That one? No, this one is the main one. That one.
You don't want that one?
No, that's the main one.
So why do you have that set up?
Because it was just for angle. I'm sorry, I should have told you that before. Is that one still have on?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Shit. Okay, we're gonna go back to what we was.
Yeah.
What was like?
I think I started.
Forget about this one. That was the main one.
Right. So again, just a lot of people don't know how hard it is. When you're working, to be trying to take a fighter to all these shows.
Absolutely correct.
They don't. And again, we we don't get paid for this. So
correct.
Once lost my job in corporate America, had some time, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna train him. We trained for a good 8 years. We sparred. In between that time, and I knew with his style, the length, that it wouldn't look like somebody who just started. So that's kind of how we were able to move around with these pros.
So sorry to interrupt you. You didn't so you didn't fight him right away.
Nope.
You marinated him. You trained him.
So from 13, and his first fight was 21.
Wow, that's no wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, amazing. So, excuse me. Of course, he was able to hold it down when he was sparring these pros.
Correct. So once his confidence started to grow, then he got comfortable. Just with sparring strangers, or seeing somebody outside of myself moving around with him,
Of course.
And and from what I was seeing, I was just like, the plan is working out how I envisioned. You know what I mean?
Of course, man. Let's give a and what's your brother's name?
Toro.
Toro, man.
Ay, que rico.
Let's go. Let's give him an applause,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
because you know, big up to him, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's tough. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then him being in no fights and sparring
fights.
pros. You know, at
Yeah,
that level.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, in Main Street we're talking about.
Main Street. I
Yes.
mean, we didn't got invited to Reggie Johnson. That's Houston's first world champion.
That is
he
correct.
invited us to his gym after he saw him spar, and he asked me how many fights. I said, Coach, 0. He was just like, man, what in the world going on with what y'all been? I was just like, man, Coach, we just trying to grind, man. So, yeah.
Impressive. He was impressed. He was. I mean, I gotta say, absolutely, definitely, man. And okay, so that's how you started the coaching there.
Yep,
And then, so you was just with your brother though at that time.
Yeah. We had no gym except for LA Fitness. So we had, and that's what I try to tell fighters. I'm like, man, you don't necessarily need a boxing gym per se to really hone in the craft and your skills. LA Fitness, road work, sprints, hills, swimming, and then the homie Regis, he said, man, just bring him by the gym. And that's when we started going to Main Street, just sparring there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 2019 up until the pandemic hit. So pretty much 2019 to 2021.
2021.
Yep.
And then so then what? A year or two? No, 2 years later is when we
The following year.
is when we met.
Yeah, after the pandemic. Mm-hmm.
Right after the pandemic.
Yeah, it was late 2022.
Correct, late 2022,
Mhm.
which we were in the warehouse.
Warehouse still, yeah.
Nice.
So, just kind of heard about you, and a fighter that we both used to work with. He's like, man, bring him by. I came. I didn't want to again insert myself. I was just like, let me just kind of show,
Of course.
and
I remember it was beautiful. Actually, a fighter named TC,
correct.
Brought you to the
Mhm.
gym, and I remembered actually because when he brought you, we introduced each other,
Right,
so on and
right,
so
right.
forth. You was coaching your brother, and then what I liked about you that you had similarities
Correct.
of the way I think.
Yeah.
How to train a fighter.
We're
what
both
to look
Scorpios.
for.
That's probably what it is.
We both Scorpios. You know what, man? Give it an applause.
Yeah,
An
give it up
applause
for the
Scorpions.
Scorpios.
For real, bro. But yeah, I think that's what we clicked.
Right.
Very
Absolutely.
similarities as far as the training goes, the
Mhm.
method,
Correct.
the structure, and
Yep.
and honestly, that's why I think we clicked, and we still
Yep.
never had no issues,
No
never had
issues.
nothing.
There's nothing.
So it's been great in that sense, and ever since then, we just been really grinding.
Smooth sailing, man. We're just waiting for those opportunities, man. That's it.
Correct. Very good, man. That's awesome, man. And then, what do you think about this? All right, now that we, let's talk about what you think about this fight with Benavidez and
I already knew you. Two Davids.
man, what?
Yeah, this is,
Two Davids. That is correct.
Yeah.
Two
That
Davids.
should be the theme of it. The two Davids.
Two Davids, man.
I need to get
Who
paid
will
for that
overcome?
somehow. I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a. I mean, Morel.
So the only reservations that you would have with Morel is his professional experience, right? You like, man, I think he still has less than 10.
Yes,
10 pro
yeah. I
fights.
think 6 fights, 7 fights.
However, just like Madrimov, who fought Terrence Crawford, these guys, the Cubans and those fighters in that the Eastern European, over 300 something amateur fights. So it's like, yeah, the pro experience is not there, but the fight experience is.
Correct.
So I don't think you'll see a guy that looks like he'll be caught like a deer caught in the headlights.
Right.
Even though I'm leaning towards Benavidez because of the pro experience, but I don't think you'll see Morel in there like he doesn't belong. My reservation is when he has to face some adversity, because we haven't had to see him face any adversity yet.
That is absolutely correct, and I agree with you in that sense. Same here, I'm leaning towards Benavidez. Just the monster. You know what I mean? Just the pressure. This is what I think is going to come down to.
Yep.
I think it's going to come down to the later rounds.
I already knew you about to say.
Benavidez
That's
breaking
what
him down.
Yeah, he's we got to remember, Ron, his history. This was a big kid, so his even though he fights, he was fighting at 168. Now 175. This was a kid who was 250 pounds at one point.
Correct.
So he's able to shrink a really big body down and then rehydrate fight night, and you're just like, well, this is a really big guy who throws punches, like a lightweight.
Correct. And let's not forget, which you know the history as well. He was sparring at 15 world champs, and just giving him work, like not just
no.
He was work. He was giving him work.
Golovkin, man. Kelly Pavlik.
Correct.
And Kelly is even on record saying that this kid is going to be a big. Remember, 12 amateur fights. That's it.
Correct. And look, me as a coach, Sam.
Right.
Like if he would have entered my boxing gym, you know how I am.
Yep.
And he would tell me I'm gonna be a world champion.
Right.
Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
seeing, his physique, I would have been like, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? Like obviously we don't want to shut nobody down. We never have, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure he shut a lot of mouths.
Oh,
you
of
know?
course.
Non-believers.
I mean, who's like, especially experienced coaches who's been around. You see a kid 260 pounds. He's 13 years old. You're like, come on, man.
Right. Right. You're gonna be right. You're gonna be.
It's just natural.
But I think I forgot who was it. What coach was? I was watching on YouTube. They said that he was amazing. 13 or 14 or whatever at that time already. He was strong. He was moving. I mean, the way he was moving.
Was it Golovkin's coach, Abel Sanchez?
That's what it was. Yeah. Abel Sanchez. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's when they started realizing, like, okay, this kid may have what you know what I mean, what it takes.
And at that time, it's just now you just got to get in shape.
Imagine.
That was.
You know what I mean? That was it. You know what I mean? Like. And then, props to the father, too, because he's been with him since, I think, his whole career.
Correct.
He's been with him his whole career.
And remember, let's, give props to Jose Benavidez Jr. He was
he's the older brother.
The older brother.
Correct.
I think the youngest national champion ever in the country or something like that.
Right. I know he has something that's standing out. Correct. Mm-hmm. Well, he was a good fighter, too. Right. Don't get me wrong. He did his thing, you know. But right now, all eyes on Benavidez. You know what I mean?
It's his time.
It is. So I think the prediction I would say that he might stop Morrell in the later rounds.
It's quite possible.
I'm
seeing everything just as a fan. Like I'm thinking blood and guts. I'm thinking both guys might have to get themselves off the canvas. We don't know.
And the good thing now check this out with Morrell. I think that my prediction is going to be in the later rounds,
right?
Where Morrell, where Benavidez is going to break him down. And the reason I say this is because we know that Morrell, he's Cuban,
right?
And I know pretty well about Cubans.
Yeah.
I'm pretty, knowledgeable with the Cubans, man, because my coach was Cuban,
right.
And that's the style I was taught. So, they box a lot, they move a lot, they don't have much power. But Morrell, he's been knocking people out.
He actually doesn't move and fight like your traditional.
Correct.
Cuban.
He likes to fight.
Now here's the thing, Ron. Could he mix it up with both? Could he stand his ground when he need to, and then get on his bike and confuse
I think that would throw Benavidez off. Imagine if we have somebody back up Benavidez.
Correct.
That's gonna be, that's gonna be a good one.
But it's the tank, because Ron, moving and then sitting and moving require the thing. The key for me for Morrell is what does that conditioning look like?
Correct.
If he's conditioned to go for
12 rounds like that,
15 rounds.
Correct. Literally, touch and hit, move. You know what I'm saying? Angles constantly. Might have to, because it's gonna be hard for them to move 12 rounds like that, Sam. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to sit down at one point.
Yep.
Bang with him a little. Maybe grab him,
right.
You know what I mean? Use his energy like that, because, man, moving around for 12 rounds, man.
See, and what Boo Boo was mentioning, he's like, a lot of people don't pay attention to David's defense. He said when David covers up, he covers his torso as well, kind of like, Winky Wright we was talking about today. He's like, and then it's a wide body, you're trying to kind of grab, and you kind of can't.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna be tough.
So that's my prediction towards the end. What would be your prediction? What you looking at it like?
I'm thinking the beginning might be a chess match at first. I don't think they're gonna come out sluggish. It's too much. Like this is,
of course,
you know it is. They can talk and say it's gonna be, but in the beginning, I think it's gonna be a real chess match. I think Morrell is gonna be confident, like 4 through round 7. he might be touching him and winning. I do think the pressure of Benavidez will get to him. I'm thinking he could stop him from the sense of like too much ref jump in, but I think it's gonna go to distance. But David takes the fight in the second half. Benavidez takes the fight in the second half.
Cause man, that's one thing, and then he's a for being so big boy, man. He's such a like an output puncher, right? Like I mean, the combinations.
Don't make no sense. This is a guy that he walks around as a cruiserweight to throw like that.
Correct.
You know?
Exactly, man. Now, if Morrell could withhold that, you know what I mean, good chin. Because like you said, I don't think we Morrell has been tested, right?
No,
to
he
the
hasn't.
chin like that.
He had that's the thing.
Solid. I don't think he's been dropped, has he?
Mm-mm.
No, he hasn't been dropped.
That's my reservation with him. Like, I'm not gonna base this fight on his last fight because it's a completely different style.
Right.
But it was not good performance. You understand?
Morrell.
That guy was slick and tough. And here's the other thing too. At 75 now, neither David showed that elite punching power that they had at 68.
That's very true. I think you're right.
So we'll see how that factors in their fight. Maybe they're able to take each other's power, and it could go to distance, and that's why I'm kind of leaning towards Benavidez with the output, with the pressure. I think, what else too? Defense. Who
has the better defense?
Yeah, who's gonna get hit the least? Yeah,
Yeah.
We got to think about that too.
That's very true.
With guys who like to open up and big punches.
Who would you say has the better defense? It's hard to say in the sense, right? But
for me, I would give it to Benavidez from this standpoint because he's been in there with better competition.
That's very true.
You understand?
And in overall, he's been better. I mean, great. I mean, way top.
Mm-hmm.
So it's big. I would say it's a test for Morrell.
Because Morrell was getting hit by that guy in his last fight, the Kaladic or whatever his name was.
Right. And he wasn't very, known like that.
Correct. And he's not a, puncher like that either.
Correct.
So, and here's the other thing too. Benavidez is just getting better, man.
He is,
big,
man.
Like he's big, he's bigger, he's strong now. He's a combination puncher. You see him working with Roy Jones at times. You see him with his that lets me know this is a guy that's trying to be as good as he can.
Absolutely. That's very true. Now, not jumping out of this fight or nothing, and you know this for a fact that I'm a big Canelo fan. I'm a big Canelo fan. You know what I mean? Yep. But
here we go.
And as y'all can see, you know what I mean? But
let's do it.
What's going on, man? Like, what do you think? You think Canelo? I won't say he's afraid, right? But what do you think? He's afraid that he might just, get humiliated.
Him and Benavidez?
Yes.
So, just from, and I won't say everything.
Right.
I think this is the first fight where I think Canelo knows that he could take a lot of, damage. Like, remember, Canelo, even though, Bivol schooled him, let's just keep it real, he didn't get beat up.
Correct.
He was
correct. Very true.
But Benavidez is relentless,
I think
he doesn't stop. I think this is the first time where he knows that this is a dangerous guy. He said it on an MMA podcast with Henry Cejudo. This is a dangerous guy. So it's that, but also too, he doesn't want to be embarrassed in front of his the Mexican.
Correct, because he is the cash guy.
Yes.
He's a cash cow.
Prideful guy.
Very,
and
top for top, pound for pound, so on and so forth.
But we gotta keep it real. Canelo's last performances, Berlanga, Munguia. You can't tell me that guy can beat up Benavidez.
I was gonna say that Canelo has slowed down too. He has slowed down.
Output is low.
Pretty much depends on the power.
Yeah, cement feet.
Correct. Depends on the power. Not much defense, believe it or not.
He's just catching everything.
Correct. Just high guard.
No slipping and dipping and rolling and all.
Like when he fought
Daniel Jacobs.
Oh my God, man! I mean, Jesus, the defense. So now, do you think going up and down on weight could be a factor on Canelo?
Oh, for sure.
For sure, I agree.
Because we got to remember, Canelo's body type is actually not for boxing. He's built like a football player, like a little mini running back.
But this is why I give him props, though, Sam. Right?
Correct.
5'8", 5'7"?
Probably 5'7" and a half.
5'7" and a half, bro. 107.
75 pounds. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow, man.
So that's why it's impressive because again, his body, he probably shouldn't even be fighting at 68.
No, I
75.
agree. He shouldn't even. Yeah, he
You
shouldn't.
understand what I'm saying? Because he has wide back. You know,
Of course.
football like he
Literally, man.
You know,
but
so
he's been, and then this is where we go. They've been Eddie and Reynoso.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
let's get Eddie Reynoso because
Yeah.
he trainer manager. He's been knowing how to move, man.
Correct.
He's been knowing how to move.
which you have to.
Correct. Yeah, because
you can't
business.
just fight
I was about to say
everybody
business.
when you-
Business
Yeah.
perspective. You
Yep.
know, he
Yep.
did his thing. He's doing his thing.
Oh yeah.
Now, back in the day, you know, like Roy Jones Jr. said, like
Yeah.
back in the day,
Oh,
man.
he's like, what he say? I ain't care about no catch weight.
Yeah.
Whoever had the belt at that weight class, I'm fighting. I'm taking the top. That's what they. So this is why they give these guys a hard time.
Correct. The
They
fans, you know what I mean? Of course. We know both sides, you know, the coaching, you know what I mean? The business side where you got to make,
It's true.
you got to
It's
make
true.
the money, man.
It's
That's
true.
what Mayweather was
It's
so
true.
brilliant. That's why I respect him, has the
Correct.
most up respect for me. That, you know what I mean? He was so brilliant, so
Yeah.
smart, you know, knew how to make.
It is true. You gotta. You have to fight the big fight at the right time too. You know.
Correct.
It's prize fighting.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, and let's be real, Sam. At the end of the day, I think Mayweather said it. You know, at the end of the day, you retire, so on and so forth years, and then you buried, man.
Yeah, boxing. Yeah, he said it.
You know what I mean? Like that's it. Nobody
Nope.
remembers you, man. And then you can't even. Oh, you over here talk. You can't even talk.
Okay, right now there are boxers in the Hall of Fame who are like pretty much homeless.
Man, yes, exactly.
There's no retirement plan for boxers. It's crazy.
That is very sad. Yeah, it's nothing like
Football,
basketball.
basketball
exactly.
that would
Exactly.
And mind you, and those guys come from the era where fan-friendly fights.
Yes.
You understand? So they really put their life on the line.
Of course. So you, I know you like Benavidez. So you would say he would edge Canelo. He would pretty much stop him.
Benavidez stops Canelo.
Stops Canelo.
I think his pride won't let him go, but Eddie Reynoso will be like, no, we go to son, you know what I mean?
Right.
He would get up and wave it.
And throw in that flag,
Yeah,
bro.
it's like Ron, at this point, remember Canelo has always had like kind of cardio issues. So cardio issues with a guy that that just doesn't stop doing punches,
very relentless.
man.
And I think that's the key. And I think that's what he's young,
27.
relentless. You know,
Big.
seems like got power, big. So yeah, you know, business wise, probably may not be the best route. Of course, I'm a Canelo fan, so I'm gonna go with Canelo.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta rock with, but what? No, your heart is telling you Canelo.
Right.
What's your mind say?
Yeah, I think that day he'll give up the torch.
Ron, think about it. If his best chance of beating Benavidez would have been like 4 years ago when Benavidez was a mandatory, he's not
Correct.
fighting him because Canelo's getting older. He's already slowing down. Benavidez is getting better.
Like you said before, he's getting better, sharper.
He's not even 30 years old yet. So
Yeah.
it's the longer he waits, the worse the beating.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
So, which is why he's not gonna take it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm Canelo, I wouldn't take it.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think he's gonna take the fight. At this point, because I kind of, and you know, with the media and everything, the fan, I think they're leaning it towards Crawford.
Right.
I heard something about 300 million or something like that. In that. Wow.
Look, if Canelo, man, look, you had a great career. Just hang it up. Because Ron, you can't keep saying you're the face of boxing.
Right.
You're
I
not
wonder,
giving-
Sam. I wonder he fought. Cause remember he said he would never fight a Mexican. Let's. Like I'm saying, guys, I'm not talking about bad about my dude, cause look, you got Canelo, but I remember him saying he wouldn't fight a Mexican. I forgot, so on and so forth. But then ends up
represent
Mexico, and
That's
then
what he
ends
said.
up fighting. But my philosophy,
It's the
and this is just my opinion, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
course. So I'm thinking he was gonna give him the torch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And maybe have him take over and pass that. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a stupid assumption,
Yeah.
but You know.
No. I know what you're talking about is pretty much what they call like the changing of the guard. So when De La Hoya whooped up on Chavez Senior.
Correct.
So I get what you're saying.
Exactly. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It passed, but you know,
you-
maybe Canelo. Remember Canelo? I think Canelo had grabbed him
Yeah.
right? Hit,
Yeah.
clubbed him real good.
Right.
Kind of grabbed him, hold him
See,
up.
but this is usually again you pass the torch. I think Canelo is just too prideful. Like he doesn't want to be the like. He's like, David, you're not gonna get that off the strength of me. You understand?
Right.
I just think he's too prideful
For that to do that,
Correct.
yeah. I mean, it would have been nice if he kind of would have. And then let's be real, he would have had nothing to lose, right? Because great career, and if he loses to him, I mean, people gonna be like, hey, you know what I mean? We knew this or whatever.
Correct.
But I think it's that pride, that thing that.
Right. And look, I have no problem with a guy. You know, he's he'll be 35 this year. Like, look, guys, I think I've done enough in the sport. You know, look, David is a dangerous fighter. It is going to take a lot for me to prepare for this fight.
Correct.
I respect that.
More than kind of the
Yeah, so and you know
the dodging them.
Yeah, he's been your mandatory for the WBC for 3 years. You know, you can't say stuff like, you know, what has he accomplished? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One single champion and come on, man.
Right.
Like,
Mandatory.
don't downplay him like that. You know.
The facts. I mean, he earned the right to fight him.
Remember, David, he lost the WBC. He didn't lose it in the ring. We got to remember that. It was on the
Correct.
scale.
Correct.
So Canelo could have challenged him when he had the belt. He
Correct.
lost it when it became vacant. That's when he called and said, "I want to fight for the."
Very
it just
true.
looks a certain way.
It does. I'm not gonna be here and talk bad about my guy, but it does. I mean, he is looking a little fishy in that sense. But you know, I'm thinking he might end up fighting Crawford and you know what I mean, and probably, you know,
They said it's kind of in negotiations. You know,
maybe not. And I'm thinking after that he'll probably hang it up. Because let's be real, he is not old in age, but he is old in boxing, right? He started at
70 fights, right?
15 years old.
Almost 70
So he's been, you know, he's been in a lot of
yeah.
wars. He's been in there, man. You know, so
Triple G fights took a lot out
right.
of
That's
him.
what I'm saying, though. Yeah, for sure, man. But that's that. Going back to February 1st for the David Morrell and
My goodness.
both. I like what he said.
Yeah,
you know,
the two Davids.
You know what I mean? So another thing is that we have our people fighting February 1st.
It's gonna be a great
fighters.
day of
You know, it's
boxing.
gonna be a good. We have
Almost,
Vicente.
6 fighters. I
Vicente,
guess?
aka Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman.
Man, Vicente has come a long way, man.
He's come a
Vicente
long
has
way.
come a long way,
The-
man. Let's give him an applause, man. You know what I mean? Because Vicente
That's
has
that
come a
monster.
long way. Yeah.
No, just, you know, hearing his background, you know, how they didn't know if he was even going to be able to be in athletics in general, you know, with some health issues he had.
Correct.
Overcame that, and just he was itching to box.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to lie, he gave me one of the best birthday presents, was his debut, November 9th.
Man. Yes, sir.
A+
What,
performance.
man? When y'all sent me the video, you know, I was in Colombia at that time. Unfortunately, you know, it hurt me. I wasn't able to be there,
Yeah.
but I feel
You were
great
there in
that my
spirit.
exactly because if you there, I'm there.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So, and when I saw his performance, man, I was really impressed, man.
And
Box, I mean,
He did everything. And right after every, how do you feel? Excellent.
man, bro.
He performed well because he was having fun.
Yes,
If you're not having fun,
yeah, that's
you're not
very
gonna
true.
perform.
I remember my coach
He
would
was
say that you have to have
smiling.
fun in there.
Angles, body work, he boxed.
Very, yeah.
A+ performance.
Correct.
For debut,
Yes, man. Excellent, man.
very excited about this.
Yes, absolutely. I am too. I'm not gonna believe February 1st. We have him fighting. We have Monica.
We have
I'm sorry. I take that back. Not Monica. Sofia.
Sophia.
El Torito.
El Torito.
You know what I'm saying? El Torito. So another one that's very. You know what I'm saying? You know, I call a boxer's a puncher.
Yeah.
You know, she has great footwork, great movement, man.
She can actually do it all when she wants to.
And you know, I actually interviewed her a few days ago, and you know, I told her, you know, what are you trying to work on, and so on and so forth. And she was like, "Coach, I'm trying to get that more, you know, more aggressive, but not be so afraid."
Yeah.
She didn't say afraid, but she said butterflies.
Yeah,
I know that's what you
Absolutely.
meant. But yes, you know, and she's a female too.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like once she starts opening up and starts getting aggressive,
Right.
that's another
Right.
one, man. That's another one on the lookout, man.
And real quick, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about female fighters?
female fighters.
What's your approach with female fighters?
Man, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Sam. Before my daughter, I had. I don't want to sound rude, nothing, but I had no idea of female fighters at all, man. Like nothing whatsoever,
Right.
bro. I didn't even know they competed. You know what I mean? It was just like that. You know what I mean? I was just focused on the fellas. You know what I mean? And I didn't say that they should not compete, right?
Correct.
But I really wasn't. I honestly, man, I didn't.
Right.
Once, you know, Brianna started competing, because Brianna, I would say Brianna was my first female competitor. You know what I mean? That I had as an amateur boxer.
Yeah. She's the first female I've worked with too.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
And then once I started working with her, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just like, and not just her, you know what I mean? She's very talented and so on and so forth. There was so much more. It was just crazy. She opened so much more doors for me.
You know what the difference is? Like from what I've gained with the female fighters, they respect like a man's authority in that regard of, okay, this is the coach. You know, sometimes the fellas, some of them think they know more than the actual coach. Like the females know it's like, look, I'm out of my element right now. I'm just gonna listen, right?
Correct.
And so for me, in that regard, also too, in training, I feel like, you know, this is my, like, you got to be harder on the female, because it's like, look, you're coming into a male dominated sport.
Correct.
So I can't babysit. So
oh yeah.
So it's almost like a rude awakening.
It is.
For them to be like, hey, this is what it's about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
oh yeah.
Down at the diva, that has
correct.
You can't bring.
Definitely.
So I think you actually gotta be a little harder on the female, so
correct.
that they understand that this is what it's about.
It's very true.
Right.
Absolutely, I agree. You know, with Brianna, with Monica. Now, you know, and after Brianna, I had then Desiree.
Yeah, Desiree.
You know what I mean? Matter of fact, big up to her, because remember she had the
yes.
what
she
was
won,
it?
She won best female fighter of the show. That was the Shakur Stevenson show.
Yes,
so.
the Shakur Stevenson show, man. She sure
Absolutely.
did. But you see, so once we started working with more females, like you say, you know, yeah, you gotta really because you know they're females, you know.
Right.
But yeah, man, they're
now you can't treat them like, oh, it's a female. Let me be. I think you gotta be harder with them.
Yes,
you know?
man, and I kid you not, talking about that one time that I was like, okay, you know, it's like I was shocked, like, okay, there's no like, because she's a female, we're gonna take it easy. It was that one time that I went with Brianna to Florida.
Oh, jeez.
And we went to this gym, a homie of mine, Rafael Rivera. Yeah. Rafael, he's a pro, a former pro, and we went to his gym. He had like a real good kid. I think he was a national champ or something like that, right? And I promise you, Sam, like,
I remember the video.
Man, bro, like,
I thought the kid was fighting for a contract.
Oh, listen, man, you know how it is over here, like, you know, because they're a female.
Yeah.
And I tell you that when they started that first round, oh man, no, this kid was like, I asked,
I was like, was he not trying to work with her? I mean, clearly he wasn't.
No, but I kind of applaud that to them for that, because the same thing, you see, because they're females, and at sometimes females, I've seen videos, I remember it was what's her name? Dezern
Franchon Cruz.
There you go, her. Yes, the double diva. Is it double?
I think so. Yeah.
Her. I remember there was a video of her saying like, nah, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, like telling the dude like, nah, man, don't treat me different. Like you gotta put that work and so on and so forth. So you see, us, because they're female. Oh, I work with her. Nah. This dude came out and was like, you a dude to me right now. And and when Brianna came to that corner, I said, Brianna,
tighten up, you better.
Man, I'm like, bro, you see how he's going, man. I kid you not, man. I have a text from the coach that was like, bro, like your daughter is something else, man, because she went toe to toe with this dude, man. Like I think we did like 6 rounds. It was crazy, man. Like that right there. That's when I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, you're a female, it don't matter, bro.
Look, Teddy Atlas said it best, man. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Correct.
That was probably a level of danger she's never experienced before.
I agree, but I think so. And even so me as a coach, and then the dad, you know what I mean, Sam? So I was like, whew, man. But you hold her down.
You hold it, and once you get out of there, confidence is now,
Oh yeah, absolutely, you know man, absolutely, and but yeah. As far as the, to that question, yeah, man, definitely. And now and another thing, man, that I noticed that females kind of grasp the concept
A bit
quicker
right? Yeah,
than some
I've
fellas.
seen-
Not
I've seen
every,
it.
not all
I've
of them,
seen it.
but I've seen it, man. I've seen it, man.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what I was saying. They know that, hey, I don't know what I'm doing.
I better
let me just listen, and, you know.
and they're on their
Sometimes
game, man.
I've seen the guys here. Sometimes they're just kind of like, you know, wandering off. You see that? I think that's what it is.
Yo, seriously, man, they really grasp. They be on point, man. So that I did, but yeah, man, that's that. Who else is fighting February 1st? We have Benjamin.
Yeah, we have Benjamin.
Benjamin, which actually I like Benjamin as
Yeah.
well. Good,
He's
well-rounded boxer.
Yeah, he's another southpaw that we have.
Correct.
You know, just has to, you know, stay consistent.
Correct, exactly. Yeah.
Get a little more confidence.
Still has a little flaws, you know, a little while here and
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a few
yeah.
things. Not you know talking you know
Correct.
bad about him, but in general for having just one fight.
Correct.
Very.
Has a nice foundation.
Oh, absolutely.
Can punch quite a bit.
Oh
when
yes,
he wants to.
yes, very true.
You know.
So we have Benjamin, we have Sofia Vicente. Charles.
Oh.
We have Charles.
We have the Nigerian
Nightmare. He's you've been training with him a lot. You know, he's picking up very well.
He's making his return.
Correct.
It's been, you know, a little over a year. Definitely trying to get him more, you know, more active.
Correct.
You know, the one thing, Ron, that we talk about with these guys is the more active you are, the more comfortable you get in the ring.
Absolute experience is everything.
Yeah.
Experience is everything, man.
You know.
That's
his main thing. With, you know, still getting him down in weight.
Correct.
You know, trying to still working on, you know, his confidence, because you know it's something everybody struggle with.
Absolutely.
So, but you've seen him. This guy has all the tools.
Oh man, seriously, for being so big and move the way he does, he definitely a lot of potential for sure. We have Trey. I'm sorry, Trey's for the for the Golden. So
Groovy Lou.
Come on now, man, Mr. Swift, man.
We were just talking about him.
Jesus,
this is a guy, man.
Lewis.
Right now, you know, not even trying
know
to
what?
get. I'm
sorry,
go ahead.
man. He needs an applause.
For sure.
A round of applause for this kid because, man,
Groovy Lou.
What a progress.
Yeah,
man.
and just a complete transformation.
Man, he didn't have it, but you know, let's be real. We were like, okay, what's going on?
Right.
And then just to come out of that,
Yep.
and just come out of that bubble and the weight, man, the way he's been sparring lately.
And also too, Ron, we got to give ourselves a round of applause because we have patience. And
God damn, let's give ourselves a round of applause. God damn it. Let's go.
They say it's a virtue. You know what I mean? And
yes, man.
We could have easily been like, you know,
that's
we're
it.
not.
That's it. He don't have what it takes, and move on.
Nah, we saw the potential. We saw the foundation.
Great foundation.
Now the kid is looking like he has the total package.
Man, bro, just the last sparring we had, sparred. This kid has way more fights than him, and coach was like, "Man, we need more of this work."
See.
So once again, man, round of applause to Lewis, man. But that's what it is, man. Hey, yo, Sam, man, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Yes, sir. We got to do it again, man.
Yeah, definitely,
Absolutely.
man. Yes, sir, man. Once again, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man.
Right.
And,
you Canelo fans, man, don't come for me, man. I'm just keeping it real. That's all I can do, man.
Hey, man, it's just our opinions, man. Don't take it to the heart now. We're not haters, man. And you already know I'm a Canelo fan, man. So that's what it is, champs. Y'all take it easy, man.
Yes, sir.